Shit. Anson, this is Dave. Hey, I hope this works. You told me to sit really close to the camera, so here I am, really close to the camera. All right, I just want to see if this works.
Dave and Heather go back as far as Dave's Jeep.
I remember that Dave was very excited about this girl and very much wanted her to go out with him and was very concerned that she might not.
Well, she was beautiful. She was the most beautiful cheerleader. She was competition. The younger girls coming to Westbrook.
From the moment that they started dating, I knew that they would be perfect for each other because they are just so sweet. They never fight. They're perfect. I mean, they're the perfect couple.
I do remember whenever they first started dating, and they brought home a movie to watch, and Dave kept wanting me to get out of the room, and I stayed and I watched the movie, and he got so mad at me for not for not getting out of the room.
You know what? The most I can remember about Dave and Heather is that I was always like, "Quit calling her girl," or remember how he would always do that, girl or woman, all the time, and I'm like, "Hey, don't call her that. That's so rude."
That's all he calls her is, "Hey girl, hey girl." That's all he knows. I don't know if he knows her name or not.
Well, I knew that Heather must have been special to Dave because Dave was real excited about it.
That's my favorite.
Oh, these are just family friends. There's Stephanie, there's Michael, there's Dave.
They went to, Dave organized a trip to Cancun, and Heather and Dave went, and they got to go free actually, so. I didn't get to go on this trip. No, Dad, 2 years before Dad wouldn't let me go. He said Mexico was off limits for his baby girl, so.
I would think some of my funnest times were when just me and Heather. We on a Saturday night, if we didn't want to go out, we would get Cookie-Dough and Doritos and watch Dazed and Confused, and we would just have the best time laughing.
She's been a very good role model for me, and I'm just glad that she found somebody as great as Dave. They're going to be very, very happy.
In some ways, I feel like they've always sort of been waiting for each other for the last few years. It's almost storybook. I think that it's kind of neat that they have gone through these last years together and sort of have in essence waited to be together.
I mean, even when Dave moved to New York, we knew that it would last. I mean,
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just they look like they belong together.
You could just tell in his eyes.
You could just tell, both of them. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
When I think of people who are destined to be together, I think of Dave and Heather.
No, just wish them the best. That's all. They'll be very happy and hope they have their 3 kids. And
Exactly, I think they'll be very
Are they gonna need luck for this? Or?
no. I think it's going to be a smooth running wedding.
Yeah.
I don't see any foreseeable.
Well, I just want to say congratulations, and I'll keep y'all in my prayers.
I think y'all got a great relationship together, and just keep doing what you're doing. It's good stuff.
You truly have a neat storybook. Love, so inspiration.
Be happy, live long, laugh much. Laughter is important in a marriage.
Dave and Heather, the best of luck to you. I hope that we will always share some moments, the major moments in your life, and that we can be a part of your life forever.
Marriage is a wonderful, wonderful experience, and it's a wonderful thing, and I'm so proud of them and so excited for them that they're going to finally get to be together and be married and live happily ever after and have kids, and we'll always be there for them.
Best that I can.
To fully understand the power of love and how these two people came together, we must go back to the beginning, where it all started. Our story begins with a boy and a girl.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him a drink his wine. And he always had
went through a phase where he fell a lot, and he was always falling on his head. And if you look at his bald head, or when he had his head shaved, you'll see scars all over his head. If you pull him in his wagon, he would fall off on his face and bleed like crazy.
I remember that I used to repeat everything that I heard off of TV. And I said some words. My mom and dad were talking one day, and I just was waiting to say this new word that I'd heard on TV, and it sounded like very long, very intellectual. And so my mom and dad were talking, and they were like, da 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 da. And I just stopped and I said, you know, that is so homosexual. And they just stopped and looked at me, and they said, do you know what that means? And I said, no, but I heard it on TV. And, you know, they never told me what it meant, I don't think. But I just knew not to say it anymore because I didn't know what it meant.
You know I love the ladies, love to have my fun. I'm a high-night flyer and a rainbow rider, a straight shooting son of a gun. I said a straight shooting son of a gun.
David I think he was in first grade. We just moved to Beaumont. He had Miss Erin, was his first grade teacher. He adored her. You know, it was pretty much like kindergarten where you just adore your teacher. And we were at Apple Tree then, not Market Basket. We were in Apple Tree on Feeling It Down, and David had to use the restroom. And he kept on doing the rain dance, whatever. You know, Mom's like, David, do you need to go to the restroom? No, I can hold it. And but he kept on, you know. And so we're standing in line to check out. And he just springs a leak. It just like an old faithful. It's like, and it won't stop. And he's like, Mom, I gotta get help, you know. And so we actually both parents were there. And so Dad rushes him out to the parking lot, and so I remember we're all getting in the car, and it was just so. For me, I felt so bad for him. I didn't say anything. We were just like riding in the car, and my dad just to lighten things up said, well, you know, David, you know, guess who I saw was standing and checking out beside us, you know, Miss Erin. Wah! Started crying, making it worse.
Ever since she was a little girl, Heather knew she was holding out for someone very special. It was a Friday night after a football game, sometime during the late 1980s. Heather and a small group of her fellow cheerleaders decided to have a slumber party to celebrate their victory against the Jaguars. This might have been the night that changed her life.
Heather, what's wrong? Why do you look so sad?
It's nothing, I'm fine.
Nothing, you've been depressed like all night.
It's nothing.
Well then good, if it's nothing then let's go.
I can do your hair and makeup.
No, I really don't feel like it. I just want to be alone.
Alone? No, I'm not alone. Hey girls! Girls! It seems we have a little problem. Heather would rather sit in the bathroom sulking by herself than join in on our slumber party fun. We can't let that happen, can we, girls?
No!
Then let's help her with her little problem, you know? I mean, slumber parties aren't all about putting on makeup and, you know, talking about boys and stuff like that after a Friday night football game.
Yeah, you're right. If we can't be there for each other in our time of need, we can't call ourselves true friends.
Yeah, I mean, we may joke around a lot and dance, but it doesn't mean we don't care.
And Heather, I bet if we put our heads together, we can solve any problem you may have.
I mean, what could possibly be so wrong that you don't want to have fun at the slumber party?
Well, I broke up with my boyfriend.
What?
Oh no.
When did this happen?
Well, it was right before halftime, and my throat was hurting really bad from all the cheering that we'd been doing. So I decided to get a drink before the big show. I went to the concession stands, but the line was unusually long, and I didn't want to get stuck in line waiting, and then I'd have to be stuck on the sidelines.
Oh my God.
Well, the pain was getting worse and worse, and I didn't know what to do. Sweat was pouring down my face.
Girl, what did you do?
You know the water fountain underneath the bleachers?
Oh. You don't mean the one with the graffiti that says 1, 2, 3, 4. If a cheerleader drinks, she'll cheer no more.
That's the one.
Oh, you didn't.
I did.
You could have gotten hurt. Don't you remember when Annie easily drank from that water fountain? She couldn't do toe touches ever again.
I know, she still doesn't do it right. But I was careful. Nobody saw.
So, what happened then?
Well, I was trying to be quiet and do it as quickly as I could so that nobody would see me. When all of a sudden I heard this giggling. It was the last thing I expected to hear in a place like that.
What kind of giggling? Or was it more like,
That's it, that was the giggle.
That is a girl's worst nightmare.
No, actually, I think Michelle's legs are a worst nightmare for any boy or girl.
No, I'm French.
Yeah, you're also Pepe Le Pew. Anyway, girls, can we please focus on my problems? Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, like I was saying, I was hearing this giggling sound, and so I decided to investigate. And do you know what I saw?
what?
I found my boyfriend, bend over. He was making out with Amanda.
Amanda?
Yeah, Amanda Hefelder.
Oh my God.
Her butt is like so big.
Girl, he's just no good for you. And besides, he'll come crawling back to you, just like my ex-boyfriend did. I thought my world was over. First I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without him by my side. But I spent all those lonely nights thinking how he had done me wrong. And I grew strong. I learned
How to get along, and now you're back from outer space.
Hey. And see, don't you feel so much better? I mean, you can do so much better than Ben.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever find the person that's right for me. I mean, I read all those fairy tale books about the prince saving the kingdom from the fire-breathing dragon, and then he steals a kiss from the princess and rides off in the sunset. I don't know if I'll ever find someone like that. I need a man who loves me more than his possessions, more than a restored Jeepster Commando. And most importantly, I need a man who looks sexy in uniform.
Where have all the good men gone? And where are all the gods?
Yeah!
Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising odds?
I'd like to know.
Isn't there a white knight upon a fiery steed? Late at night I toss and I turn.
I toss and I turn.
Ooh. And I dream of what I need. I need a hero. Somewhere after midnight in my wildest fantasy, somewhere just beyond my reach, there's someone reaching back for me. Racing on the
I got on the last bus out of West Point. After that, they shut everybody else down, so I barely made it out. It was a 2.5-hour ride to the snow in the airport. Got to the airport, flight's delayed forever. Basically, we're taking off in the snow. We get in, I get in about 1:30 in Houston, and then drove. It was about 3:30 by the time I made it over to Heather's house. And I get over to her house, and I'm walking up to the door, and about the same time, these two other guys are walking up to the door. You know, so I'm sitting there, they're looking at me, and I'm dressed in New York clothes, you know, I have like a jacket and a turtleneck sweater, and these guys are wearing like shorts and a t-shirt, and they have 2 beers and everything. And so I walk up the door, and they walk up the door, and we just kind of look at each other, and I'm like, what are you here for? And they're like, see a girl? And I was like, yeah, me too. Which girl? And they're like, Danielle. And I'm like, they're like, who are you here to see? I'm like, her roommate. So then I go and bang on Heather's window, and I'm like, go to the back door, and open the door. And I didn't know whether she recognized my voice, but apparently she didn't. So we go to the back door, she opens it up, and I'm there. She didn't think I was coming, or she had no idea I was coming.
And, you know, I just flipped the blinds. I didn't even look out. I was just like, you know, waving to him, saying that I was coming, you know. So I go to the door, and I'm like, I open the door, and I would look up, and I was just like, oh, what are you doing here? What? Oh my gosh, why are you here? What's going on? And there were 2 guys behind him that had come up to see Danielle, but I just thought they were his friends.
But I really had no idea who these guys were. But they go in and talk to Danielle, and then I take her around the corner.
And so he said, will you marry me? And I was like, yeah. And I just like, you know, hugged him and stuff. And then he goes, you know, we started talking about something. He was like, well, did you say yes?
And she said, okay.
And he was like, no. And I was like, yes, yeah, you know. And so, and then that's it. And we got engaged. Yay.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Dave, we're getting married in about 3.5 weeks, and it's so amazing because, I mean, we've been together over 6 years. It's about as long as the life of your Jeep and the process of the Jeep, actually. But it's been amazing the whole way through. These last 4 years have been tough because we've been apart, but they've been so worth it to know that I get to be with you every day and to spend the rest of my life with you. We'll have a wonderful life together, I know. No matter what comes our way, no matter what problems we'll see, we'll be together, and I know that we can face anything. And I'm so excited, not only about the wedding, but just about the beginning of our lives together, and about just all that brings. I mean, we've got wonderful family. Our families are joining together, and we'll have wonderful gatherings. I mean, holidays, Christmas, everything. I mean, it's going to be so special just to be able to spend all that time together, and I'm so excited about June 9th and beyond. I mean, there's so much to say, and I don't know if I can put it all into words, but I love you, and I can't wait.
And that may be all I need to know.
Heather, I'm really excited about marrying you. I don't think I've been more excited about anything in my entire life. You've given me so much, and God has truly blessed me by bringing you into my life. Your love, your patience, commitment to me, and your friendship have all just been incredible. And if I've made you happy, especially in the last 4 years, and I'm truly humbled. Girl, I love you so much, and I can't wait to marry you.
But I know I love you. That may be all that